What's up, guys? Welcome to your 10th XNA game development tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to go over properties. Last tutorial we went over how to access functions within a class or an object, an instance of an object that we made. For now we're going to get rid of some of the stuff we did last time. So let's get rid of, how do you say, actually, take that back. Keep those there. But get rid of these functions right here. We're not going to need those now. You can get rid of that. And what we're going to do is create a property for this. And what I mean by property is it's going to be a function that gives you the value of this, or it'll be a function that will, or it'll be a function that sets a value to this. And you remember how we did Fred.name, and that'll give us Fred's name. But what we want to do is create a property, and this is basically like a cleaner way of accessing this name, and this will make sense in a second. So let's put public string, and we're creating a function right now, or it's kind of a function, but to make it go faster, what you can do is put prop. Just type prop and then the tab. Yeah. So type in prop and then hit tab right after that, or hit tab twice, and then you can put in your return value right here, and you want it the same as this. So we're basically creating a function that represents this variable right here. So change this into string, and then we want to change this to name, and give this a capital N, because this will be the property, and you want the property to have start off with a capital letter. And you'll see how it says get and set right here. Delete that. We're gonna create our own. So create the open and closed braces, just like we did with a function. And the difference between properties and functions, the way C# knows how to differentiate the two, is by these parentheses right here. You don't want them, so delete those. And so now it knows that it's a property. And inside a property, what it's going to do is it can do two different things. It can set a value to something, or it can get the value of something. So let's try get. So do get, and then this is sort of like a function within a function, if that makes any sense. But do return name. So now let's actually put this on one line just to make it a little simpler. There. So now what this property is going to do is it's going to just return this. We can't set it equal to something, so we can't do, and to access this you use the dot. And see how this little icon changed right here? How it's like a little menu or something? That means it's a property rather than this like cube or whatever. So you can click on that or type it out or whatever. And then Fred.name. And if we try to set it equal to something, then it's going to give us an error, because we can't do that, because all we did is do this get right here. So we can only use it in something. I'll show you what I mean by using it. So you can do a right line, and you can say Fred.name, capital N. And this will work because, oh wait, oh we forgot this. We took out that code by accident. So remember, you do this .name, or actually, just do this .name. Yeah. All right. So there, it types out his name. So that's what the get does. is it'll return this variable, or actually you can use any variable. It doesn't have to be the one with the lowercase n. It could be the eye color or something. So you could put eye color, and we didn't set that, so it'll be nothing right there, because remember, eye color doesn't have anything in it. And now in this property, all they do is they return something, and then we're going to go over how it can set a variable equal to something. We put that back to name. And this is just like any other function. You can do other stuff with the name. We'll go over that in a second after we go over this. And that's set. So remember how before we were trying to set this equal to something? So name equal, oh wait, I did that integer last time, but so let's say and oops, get rid of that. And see how we get an error here? Because it can't be assigned to a value. It cannot be assigned. So what we have to do is put a set. So you do the set, and then open braces, and then you say name equals value. And this value right here, that's going to be equal to this, whatever we're setting it to. So Fred.name equals, and then this is the value right there. So now we're setting this equal to this technically. And so now we can do this. And then we didn't do any right lines. But see how we didn't get any errors? That's because we did have this set, and now we can set it equal to something. And then we can write that on, let's just write that on the screen. Fred.name. And there's our text. Alright, and so when you do have a property of something, so basically we made a property of this string name right here because we used it to retrieve the name, and we can also set the name equal to something. So you can get rid of this public. Again, I'm going to go over that I think in the next tutorial. But so now it'll still work. And so now I'll show you what happens if we get rid of this get. So now we can't use it anymore. And an example of using it would be in here, where we have like a parameter for it. Or it is a parameter. So we can get rid of that, and then you'll see how it won't work. See how it underlines that. So now we can't use it. Alright, we can undo that, and that works. And I was also going to show you how these are basically functions within a function. And I guess a property isn't technically a function. It's basically two different functions. And so when you're setting it equal to something, then this function is called. And when you're using the variable or property, then the get is called, because you're getting the variable. And so I'll show you what we can do with this. So let's get a little more practice with this, and we'll create another one. And remember, if you're making a property of something, you can delete the public there. And what we're going to do is say public in height. And we're just going to capitalize that to tell us that this is the property for this variable. And you don't want the parentheses either. So put some braces there. And we'll write our get function. So we'll return the height. So returning this, whatever variable, whatever value that has. And then delete that. And say Fred dot, and then I should have height there. And it shouldn't be equal to anything, 0. because we didn't set it or anything yet. And we can also do a set, and we can say whenever we're setting something, the height is going to be equal to whatever value we're setting it equal to. So let's set Fred.height, say equals 5. So now the height right here is going to be equal to 5 because 5 is the value. And there's 5. And now what we can also do, let's just show you like how this works a little. You can also do plus 5. So now the height's going to be equal to this value right here, 5, and we're going to add 5 to it. So we'll return 10. So that's equal to 10, and I'll write 10 to the screen. And another thing we can do is say, let's get rid of this. We can also return something different. So we can say so we can say return height minus 2. So now this right here is going to be equal to the height, which we set to 5. So now height is equal to 5, which was the value. And then once we go to this one, it's going to call this, and height is now equal to 5 minus 2, so it will return 3. So it's going to write 3 to the screen. There you go. Alright, so that's pretty much it for properties. Actually, just one more thing. You can also have different statements. Like, just think of this as a function without any parameters or anything. So what you can do is say, pretend this is its own function. You can do other stuff like create a new variable, say like new height or something, and set that equal to height times 5 or something, and then you can return the new height. So you can put all kinds of stuff in here, and that's sort of an additional purpose to properties, is you can do additional stuff when you're getting your variables and when you're setting them as well. So we can run that, and now it's 25 because we created a new integer and we returned that instead. Okay, so in the next tutorial I'm going to be explaining what the public means and a few other things. So stay tuned, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.